Welcome to Introductory Lesson 2, Building Words and Reading Tones. The tone system in Lao is complicated because it varies from place to place, both within Laos and among speakers from other places, such as the Lao speakers in the northeast of Thailand. Speakers in the south will pronounce words differently from speakers in the north, for example. That's not such a strange concept when you think about the different accents in a country like the US, where the southern US accent differs from the northeastern US accent. For the purposes of this course, you will be introduced to a tone system commonly spoken in the central Vientiane region, and one that if you master will be good enough for you to make yourself understood by most Lao speakers. The rules here explain the system. You will have many opportunities to memorize the rules as you go through the lessons. The best way that I have found to memorize the system is to pick one word to represent each of the different tones that are incorporated into the writing system. Then, anytime you come across a similar word, you will know what its tone is. For example, the word sung, or tall, is a low rising tone. Anytime you see another word with a high-class beginning consonant, a long vowel, and an open, live, or nasal final consonant, you will know that it too has a low-rising tone. Here's a chart explaining the tone rules. Following this chart are explanations of those rules. Please take time to read each rule and work on memorizing this tone chart. If the ending of a word is unstopped, meaning it has a long vowel with no final consonant, or the final consonant is nasal, either ma, na, nya, or nga, and the beginning consonant is a high class, it will be a low rising tone. If it's a mid class, it will be a low tone. If it's a low class, it will be a high tone. The following examples illustrate this rule. The word ka begins with a high-class consonant and ends with a long vowel. There is no tone marker or ending consonant, so this would be a low-rising tone. The word sung begins with a high-class consonant. It has a long vowel and ends with the nasal consonant nga. There is no tone marker, so this would be a low-rising tone. The word ka begins with a mid-class consonant and ends with a long vowel. There is no tone marker or ending consonant, so this would be a low tone. Note, there is some debate about this tone, with some arguing it is really a low-rising tone, while others say it is a low tone. Either way, at this point it will be hard for you to tell the difference, so just learn it as low for now. The word a begins with a mid-class consonant and ends with a long vowel. There is no tone marker or ending consonant, so this would be a low tone. Note, the consonant a does not have a sound of its own when starting a word. In this case, it acts as a placeholder, allowing the word to begin with a vowel sound. Anytime you see this consonant at the beginning of a word, you start the word with the vowel sound. The word ma begins with a low-class consonant and ends with a long vowel. There is no tone marker or ending consonant, so this would be a high tone. The word tang begins with a low-class consonant, has a long vowel, and ends with a nasal consonant, nga. There is no tone marker, so this would be a high tone. If the ending of the word is stopped, and the vowel is short, with or without the final consonant, ga or da, and the beginning consonant is a high-class consonant, it will be a high tone. If it's a mid-class consonant, it will be a high tone. If it's a low-class consonant, it will be a mid-tone. The following examples illustrate this rule. In this example, the word hit begins with a low-class consonant and has a short vowel and ends with the stopped consonant da. There is no tone marker, so this would be a mid-tone. In this example, the word ja begins with a mid-class consonant and ends with a short vowel. There is no tone marker or ending consonant, so this word would be a high tone. Any word with the maic tone marker seen here will be a mid-tone. The following examples illustrate this rule. In this example, the word ka begins with a high-class consonant and ends with a long vowel. However, since there is a tone marker, my 8, this would be a midtone because any word with that tone marker is automatically a midtone. In this example, the word man begins with a low-class consonant, has a long vowel, and ends with a nasal consonant. However, since there is a tone marker, my 8, this would be the midtone because any word with that tone marker is automatically a midtone. Any word with the maito tone marker that starts with a high-class consonant will be low-falling, with a mid-class consonant will be high-falling, and a low-class consonant will be high-falling. The following examples illustrate this rule. In this example, the word jiao begins with a mid-class consonant, jaw, and ends with a vowel, ao. However, since there is a tone marker, maito, this would be a high-falling tone, because any word beginning with a mid or low-class consonant and marked with that tone marker is automatically a high-falling tone. In this example, the word koi begins with a high-class consonant, ka, and has a long vowel, a, and ends with a nasal consonant, nya. However, since there is a tone marker, maito, this would be a low-falling tone, because any word beginning with a high-class consonant and marked with that tone marker is automatically a low-falling tone. As you have seen, consonants that end a Lao word can make a difference with the tone of that word. It is also important to understand other ways they affect the sound of the word. There are two types of consonant endings for Lao words, stopped and nasal. Stopped endings only occur with the consonants ga, ba, and da. Nasal endings occur with the consonants ma, na, wa, nga, and nya. Stopped endings ga, ba, and da do exactly that. They stop the sound of the word in either a hard sound, that is somewhere between a K and a G for ga, and between a P and a B for ba, and between a D and a T for da. The difference between the KG, BP, or DT ending in Lao and English is that in Lao it is an unaspirated stop, meaning that the throat constricts to stop all air from exiting when pronouncing the consonant. So, if you say cut or cud in English, normally a small puff of air comes out of your mouth after the T or D is spoken. In Lao, that is not the case. You must close off your throat just before that puff of air escapes to stop the word. You will hear this in the following examples.
พวก แซบ เผ็ด
Nasal or sonorant endings, ma, na, wa, nga, and nya, do not stop the word abruptly like the stopped endings, but they can change the sound of the vowel. Ma, na, and nga are fairly straightforward, adding an m, n, and ng ending to the word respectively, and doing little to change the sound of the vowel. Wa and nya, on the other hand, do change the vowel sound, as you can hear in the following examples. Wa adds a u sound to the end of the vowel, while nya adds an I sound to the end.
ลาว สะบาย